Virgo, and thank you for checking in with me. This is part 2 of the 2015 review reading. We had a pretty big reading. It's actually the longest one that I got so far, and I've done about half. So we've had a pretty big reading about what's going on for you in the middle of the year and what's going on with the year for you. And then moving forward, let's take a look at this transition from the insight of things coming apart to really becoming your own woman, or getting in touch with your feminine side at a level you probably never have gotten to before. So there was this tension here to review part 1. There was a tension here, and it was quite problematic because it was so paradoxical, because both things were good and almost had the sense of wanting to exist on their own, but together they kind of didn't function well. And so destiny kind of takes you one way, and then yet you still linger within the love relationship that you have, and it's very difficult about how to make changes and how to make decisions when two things are good. But my moon is in Aquarius. I am the worst at making decisions. This is me. So yeah, making decisions is baffling anyway. And so for me, explaining this to you is producing anxiety. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know how to make decisions at all. So when you touch on issues like that, that's central to me. Anyway, I'm very non-decisive. Anyway, because I actually think in paradoxes anyway a lot. So I consider everything, and then I'm just like, okay, well, it's all contradicting itself, so I don't want to make a decision. Anyway, too much psychology. Well then, you guys got to know me a little bit better. So we have the Empress here, which is what you're transitioning into. You're transitioning into the Empress, and you're coming into your feminine power. So you're coming from this kind of, I think you abandon the issue altogether, and you just let it go, because there's no way for you to decide which way to go, and then you just have to kind of transition, and you start focusing on the physical body. You may find that this year you're going to work out a lot, particularly moving into the future. You're going to make some decisions about like how you look, and also what you create of yourself, and what you want to do as a giving conduit, what you want to give of yourself in a practical way, working with your hands and creating realities for people, and creating positive outcomes for people. And then that's going to be modified by really making the last judgment on things. I know I said you didn't make a decision, but I get the last judgment is about just letting it wash all over you, and wash you clean of the things that you can't resolve, the things that are kind of sticky, that are kind of stuck in your life, and the things that persist. And that's really also modified by the Tower. So there's going to be an upset of order that you're coming up against, and it's going to be a really structural one. And this is why I gave you guys so much caution, and so I spent so much time cautioning you guys against the devil. So expect like a upset of order. You want to go slow. That's the idea. And you want to just accept it as it goes forward, and keep focusing on the new beginnings as this is not working out. Because when that thing crumbles, and when it falls in your life, whatever it is, then if you feed into that, then it's just going to take other things with it. So, but don't be afraid either. That's not a good approach. Just be tolerant. Practice tolerance, composure, and that happens with age. I personally couldn't manage this stuff when I was like 17, 18, and then as I grew older, then I was like, okay, this isn't meant for me. This isn't the way to go. So I'm just going to go a different direction. I'm gonna seek out a different path in my feminine aspect. Some of you may be challenged by trying to come to pregnancy this year. And so you will have to figure out alternative routes in that case to do it, surrogates, or adoption, or maybe some kind of medical procedure that will help in this circumstance. So it doesn't mean that you won't be able to become pregnant, but and I'm not a medical doctor, so this isn't medical advice, it's just fun and entertainment, and it's from a spiritual perspective. So I have to say that whenever I talk about medical stuff or physical stuff. But I think that in terms of becoming a mother, it might become quite challenging. Those of you who have children already, you may have to make some hard decisions with regard to your children. In fact, this little devil right here, he could be your son or daughter. He could be a niece or nephew. It could be somebody who you're taking care of, who's going to kind of come under duress, and who's going to really get engulfed in some really serious things that you can't necessarily help them with, and you're going to have to kind of transition and make some decisions about stuff, and make some decisions about moving forward and letting go of the situations that are letting go and moving forward and making the best way out of the circumstances. I do think that the biggest change in your life that's going to happen is in your social circumstances. And I think that you're going to be the impetus from that. You know, usually in relationships, particularly, there's a thing that they say that oftentimes relationships break down because one partner has somewhere else to go. And so in general, if you extend that to all social relationships, usually circumstances change when one person or a group of people have another avenue, right? Another way to come out of the situation. So the situation might turn from bad to worse a little bit, but I think that you're the one who's taking a pause, because you're in the friends and family section. You're the one who's taking a new direction. So I think that you're going to just kind of see, you're going to be kind of involved in this matter, and just, you're going to kind of maybe make that decision. I think that this situation, though, is not what I'm talking about here. I think this is something that will permeate and linger. Maybe the pressure cooker of that is going to get changed, and it's going to become quite passive. And remember that you in the situation have the sun. I haven't mentioned this. I know I've been talking about all the problems because I want you guys to really be safe, and I want you guys to know what the problems are. I mean, if I'm telling you guys, oh, everything will be good, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, that doesn't really get you guys to where you want to be. I think a lot of people that are watching really want to kind of identify some key things to focus on to make the best out of this year. So I'm not trying to be negative, I'm trying to be constructive. So it's important to say that throughout the whole year, the sun is shining down on you. You are the golden child this year. I mean, the sun is the best card in the deck. It means prosperity, happiness, uplift. I mean, and this combination down here, the three, the Hierophant, the Emperor, and the Magician. I mean, the marriage between the Emperor and the Magician, the power is behind you. So there is a great thing. Those of you, I mean, maybe around you, a gay couple, a gay masculine couple is getting married, and they're a power couple, and they're gonna get you. They're gonna get your back. You know, this is very fortunate for you. If you are in a couple, you might be the Emperor, or you might be the Magician, and you're getting married. In which case, watch out, everyone. I mean, these people, righteousness in a good way. And so you yourself, the Empress, beautiful Virgo, you know. I never understood why the Empress isn't Virgo. I don't know why we got the Hermit, right? Because it's usually the Virgin, so I want to be Empress. Anyway, so making the best judgment about circumstances, you just allow things to break down. You allow things to move forward because you see new opportunities for you in new directions, and it's a wise decision. It's a wise decision that you make. It's a wise decision. You serve someone else up a tower. You serve and this is not a Virgo thing to do, right? We're not ones to serve people things. We're not ones to really shake the foundations of stuff. But I think that you will be the conduit of change, or okay. Okay, now, you in the situation, I already talked to you about that. I need to hurry up through this reading, but I've read pretty much everything already for you, so, well, there'll be more, but, the Sun card is talking about you in the circumstance, blessed, family, happiness, really wanting to have children for some of you, really wanting for you to be creative, getting in touch with childlike hard set, a childlike mindset, childlike disposition towards things, the blossoming of life, the enforcement of positive principles in your life, blossoming of situations. So overall, like, really good. And you're coming in the position of power, and then you're serving up someone a dose of their medicine. I think this situation, the more I think about it, isn't you. This is about you serving it up to someone who's been waiting for it, who's been earning it from you. And I think that you switch gears. You switch gears from the metaphysical understanding of the matter. And remember, when I talk about this, it can be talking about lots of different situations, because this is the permutation. These are trumps. This is arcana, which is like the prototypes of life. And so this channels in various ways. But if you were thinking very metaphysically, metaphorically about a life situation that you're involved in, but the practical is hurting you, I think that this year is the year that you finally break it down, in which case you might be asking for a separation or divorce. But it's you, not the other person. You yourself, the Fool, new friends coming in. This is great. So as you're going through everything, and haters, be careful of haters this year. But as you're going through everything, you're going to be influxed with lots of positive friends. Men are already on your side, and now more women are coming onto your side. And I think that you have good friends who are watching out for you. So don't be paranoid and worried about how that's going to really manifest. There's some really good people who are watching out for your best interest. And then this is the big lesson. The big lesson is that there's a larger world around you. And I think that you've been closeted a little bit in your own space. And so your eyes are becoming really wide open as to the magnitude of friendship you've amassed, and the magnitude of friendship that you have to draw on. Sometimes, particularly, I'm from a small town, so if you live in a small town, and back in the 90s, before the internet, you felt like this is the people that this is who you have to interact. But now, with the expansion of communication, we can really form relationships across city, state lines, provincial lines, national lines. So we're moving on to positive directions. And so this is the big lesson, that there's a lot for you out there. And I think it's going to leave you dumbfounded a little bit. I think that the generosity of the world is going to really kind of bless you. And I think that that the world is going to really assure your success. I do think the devil might be far away from you, though, at times, or from far away place, or he himself or she herself may be physically displaced from you, which is kind of the dislodging nature, how people can affect you who are far away. So there's a negative and a positive spin to this, and you need to watch out for both. Take advantage of the positive and address the negative. This isn't a negative reading. This is a reading about being proactive in your own circumstance and not falling victim to the things that are going on, particularly this person. This person's nasty, so I don't want to keep on drawing on this. There is going to be people, you're going to be shaking your head, but unless you give that person energy, they're not going to be able to do that much to you. The outcome is the Hermit. Whenever Virgos go through stuff, we draw on our own inner knowledge, our own inner truths, and we get in touch with our heart and what we need. And so the big, this is you need to draw on yourself, and I appreciate that you guys watch the videos, but I really do want to encourage everybody to make decisions for themselves and sort out their own path in their own way. And if these readings are help in a spiritual sense, then by all means, but always I really want everyone to make decisions and use critical thinking for themselves, and be very cautious and paced and reflexive and do things in a pragmatic way. And so yeah, you want to set out your course. You want to take things slow. You want to think about what's right and what's wrong, and you want to use the principle of your beauty, your exterior beauty, as as a platform for you to be able to communicate some more beautiful, some more deeper things. So you don't want to leave it at the shallow. You don't want to leave it at the exterior. You want to take things further. So, you know, if you realize that, for example, your husband is only wanting you for you're married already, let's say. Example time. This isn't specific to anyone, but you're married and you realize your husband just appreciates you for your beauty and there's not much to the relationship and is going along fine. What's the problem with using that as a means to educate and grow yourself in a spiritual sense or in an intellectual sense? Because you are more than that sum. Let him think what he needs to think. You've made your decisions and now you want to use the circumstance to the best of your, you know, that's his thing. And then when it's time, then you can make your decisions about what you want to do with the relationship. So being pragmatic has its place and time for you this year, for sure. Now, you in the circumstance, I said a lot of it's going to play out in the first quarter, and I think that that's really true. And this is the spring. This is the beginning of the issues. You're clearing things are becoming more fair for you. And I think that you've had a long period of unfairness, or you've dealt with a lot of unfair issues in your lifetime, and things have not gone your way. And you've had to kind of take the subservient role or the subservient angle and just go with that. And by going through that subservient position, it's been just a drag. And that drag, you know, is something that you've put up with. And now things are coming more clear and more honest and more on point for you. And so as things do that, people are going to try to bring you back down immediately. So drawing on yourself and reclusive, just don't let people know what's going on. Don't let everyone know what's going on. And do your own thing. Focus on your own self and allow this to kind of come over you. The justice, the figuring things out, the making things better. You want to allow that into your life as much as you can. In the summer quarter, you will see temperance really becoming an issue, and this is when by then I think a lot of this has come up, you know, already and dissolved, and now you're integrating everything. And remember, the whole reading is about you being strong and prosperous, so it's not going to be plagued by these circumstances. You're going to really master them early on and then move forward in a very direct place. I think that if you do well this year, 2016, it's just going to be awesome. And I think that it's going to be, this is your year to get ready for 2016, which is going to be amazing. 2015 is going to be good, but I think 2016 is where you really step it up. But in the first quarter, you have temperance, which is a balance of spirit and emotions and creativity. So you're integrating and you're mediating between different things, and you're making them work for you and work in tune with everything else. And so I get the sense that this is really abrupt, this thing here that happens. So you're so gentle, and then you're so strong but gentle, and then this, you just really kind of, enough is enough. This is BS, and I'm not going to put up with it, right? So here we have temperance. You're going to start integrating the big choices that you make early on in the spring. And the integrating is going to be positive because the fall, the harvest, and the yang, which is how everything manifests, how you create strength, power, authority. So you kind of are getting an aspect of this. Although this is going to take longer to manifest in your life, that's probably going to go into, like I said, 2016. So yeah, I think that the manifestation of that, the initial one, you're going to get your big spurt in the fall. And the last card out is the transition card, which is death. So I think that death and rebirth, the end, finally putting the end to those matters, the end of those circumstances completely behind. As you go into 2016 and begin 2016, you get empowered in new directions, and there's going to be new positive outcomes for you, and you're just going to be kind of living it up, and there's good opportunity for you as this happens. So you're going to really put things at rest. You're going to really allow for new things to permeate in your life. And this is just going to grow. This Fool card here is just going to grow and grow into something new. So, okay. So thanks so much for listening to me banter about your life in 2015. It looks pretty boss. It looks pretty awesome. Make sure that you draw on this as much as possible. That's your powerhouse, the undercurrent of the matter, and get in touch with that through your intuition. And really appreciate any kind of mentorship that people want to throw your way. It's going to lead to good things, and you're going to become quite powerful. And I think that this transition that you're going to face in the fall is going to really put an end to circumstances that are a blight to you. And so just kind of shrug your shoulders and shrug them off and move forward in new directions. You yourself are happy throughout the year. Even in this transition time, it's a happy thing for you. Okay, thanks very much, Virgo. Make sure to like my videos, give me thumbs up, share with your friends, and press the ads below. Okay, thanks so much. Happy New Year.